Welcome to Save Time and Boost Language Learning with Magic School. I'm Rachel Lucas, and welcome today. We're going to have an awesome session. So, if you know anybody who is a world language teacher or any type of teacher who could benefit from saving time and coming up, you're going to learn ideas for how to engage your students. Make sure you grab them. But I want to make sure that you can hear me. That's the most important thing. So please let me know if you can hear me, where you're watching from. And that way I know that you can hear me. And also maybe what language you teach. If you're a world language teacher watching, let us know what language you teach. All right. And I know there is a slight delay, so we'll make sure. But we have an awesome training coming up. I just want to make sure that I can be heard. Let me see. Let me look over here. Okay, I've seen some comments. Pennsylvania. Woo! Teresa. Oh, Teresa is a long time follower. So, woo! Excellent. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, so tag a world language teacher friend of yours and let her know, or him, that we're live. And by the way, if you're new to the community, don't forget after the live to come join our free Facebook group. And it's called Tech for World Language Teachers. So come on over after. Also, don't forget, if you have any questions, ask in the comments. And that way we can go ahead and get those answered for you. All right, so let's get started. Today's presenter is Gerardo Gancz. He is a Spanish teacher and he is an AI automation specialist. So welcome. Let's get him here. Hola, Gerardo. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, muy bien. Hello.
So tell us what you're going to share with us. You were showing me earlier some really cool stuff. So tell the audience what you're going to share with them today.
Well, I thought today I would share how I'm using AI, but specifically how I've been using MagicSchool to help with me in my Spanish class, and how I've used it to help not only my life as a teacher, but also I've seen improved engagement and helping my students learn the content, but also stay engaged while they're learning. So as we know, that's an issue nowadays, but and also trying to teach them how to use these skills, how to use this, because these are going to be skills that they're going to need as they get older. So and like I said, I've used MagicSchool. It's been about a year, and it's it's really helped me. So today I thought I would just kind of share what is MagicSchool, and then maybe give the viewers a chance to play around and be like a student today, where they can see how it's used as a student's perspective. So
So they're going to get to see it as an experience as they would if they were a student in your classroom, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's pretty awesome. So maybe guys, grab a second device so that as you're viewing, you can have a device to participate in. And let us know, are you finding it? Let us know in the comments. Are you finding it that it's getting harder and harder to keep your students engaged because maybe their attention span is shorter because they're addicted to their devices? Let us know in the comments. All right. So I'll be quiet.
Yeah. A couple of things about this. Like I said, I teach Spanish, but this could be applied to any content. It doesn't have to even be world language related. It could be, you could apply it to like I said, any content area. So which is the good thing about this, you could just adapt it. Which that's what I've done, because I found that a lot of these AI sites, they don't have many things that are tailored towards world language teachers. So I've taken what I've seen from others and applied it to our content area. So. And again, I do not work for MagicSchool. I just have said I've been using it, but let me I'm going to share with you guys just a little a slideshow here just to show you, and then we'll get into you guys can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, this is. It said the leading generative AI platform, and the other good thing about MagicSchool is that it is K through 12, so that also makes it where so you could use it. There is no like I said, there is no restrictions in that regard. So you get the K through 12, so that makes it, I believe, even better, because you can use it across the board. So a lot of times, I know I've used other platforms where there is an age restriction. So that's the good thing. There is no age restriction with Magic School, so you can use it K through 12. And kind of today, just say like again, just why, what is it, the best practices that I'm using it, kind of how to navigate it, which they'll have an opportunity, and then how to use it, and also Reina, which is the bot that their bot to, if you have any questions, you can kind of it's there for you to use for you to learn. And the one other good thing about Magic School, it's really easy to learn in that regard. And what I have found also, and when using it, it saved me in time in regards to when it has saved me time in lesson planning. I remember back in the days where we had to, write out our lesson plans, and you had to do it all. And now it's just easy. It's not, you still have to come up with the lessons, but it's just writing it for you, with all the standards. Cause sometimes I forget, which standard am I using? Which one is it? So it's saving you that time. It's saving you the time in when you're in the class and you have your students on the chatbot. You don't The students that are getting it and they're engaged with the chatbot, you don't have to necessarily worry about them in regard, and you can focus on those students that do need that extra work, that extra time. And that's what I found. I was able to focus on those students that needed more time, because the other ones are going to be engaged, asking the when I use the chatbot questions and so forth. So
And it's really good for like when you were saying the lesson plans. You know how we have to show that we're showing differentiation, like, and we're doing accommodations when we have students with special needs and things like that. This can also be very helpful when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, and I can even there is you'll see when we get on Magic School that they do have that. They have tools for your special needs students. You could even create chatbots that would be specifically for those students that have their accommodations. So if you ever forget, it's a resource for you too to type in and say and get something in return real quick, in real time almost,
And
and
this,
not
yeah,
having to go and go find their file and all that. It's going to be right there in your hands.
and this is great when you're having those end of the year evaluations with your supervisor, your admin, or your principal. It's great for you to be able to show that and get those effectives or highly effectives that you're looking for.
No, absolutely. And also the other good thing is, as we know, with AI, especially students, they view it right now as this is going to make it easy for me to just get the job done. And that's where we come in as educators and kind of set these, what it says here, number 2, the safe, responsible AI experiences. And you're hoping that what you show them in the classroom, they will also do outside of the classroom. But we can only have guardrails when they're in our classroom. But you're hoping that would also expand to when they get out and they use it responsibly and learn to use it in that way. So you can put as many guardrails as you want, and very little guardrails. It's up to the teacher. And I learned very quickly that depending on your age level, I teach 4th through 8th grade. I had to put a lot of guardrails very quickly, because they will take and run with it. So you can make it very, very, like I said, strict, to where they can only they can only ask these specific questions, or so you tailor it however you want it, and make it for your students. So that's another good thing. It's very personalized, for your students as well as for yourself. And the other good thing is that it's very easy to use. I know that's one of the. I know in my school, when I try to show teachers this and using AI, it can seem very scary, because there's a lot of things out there, and it moves very, 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 very fast, the tools that we're getting. So, but the one thing with Magic School is it's very easy to use. It's very user friendly. So that's another reason why I like it. And a lot of the teachers at my school have been starting to use it because of that reason, because it's easy to use. So this is kind of, and then you'll see here in a second, but this is when you log in, this is what it will look like. And you have on the side here you have your output history. That's when you design your rooms. And the good thing is it is a free to join, and you don't necessarily need the paid account to do any of the anything that Magic School offers. I don't have a paid account, and I'm able to use it very, very freely and use it. There's no restrictions on that. So that's the good thing, at least yet. So we'll see what happens in the future. But so this is where you would have, and these are all the tools, and again, you'll see, but it's all there, and you can choose whichever tools you want, and we'll log here in a second. So these are kind of like some of the sample ones, that some of the tools that you'll see when you get on there, but there are rubric generators. You can, I know those can sometimes take times, but you can tailor them to your lesson plans. I've used it. I just used it. I did a cooking video with my 8th graders, so I was able to incorporate the rubric there. You'll see one of the tools that I'm using is sentence starters, getting them to start to write in the target language. So there is sentence starters. I know some elementary school teachers, they do class newsletters, so it's just a way also you can engage family, and then also you can say you're creating the original content. So these are just some of the tools. And as we know, just some of the things that when using AI is obviously not to take everything that the AI, what it's giving us, obviously, and make sure that we're still looking at it, and we're still making sure that we're personalizing it too. So because sometimes, like I said, bias, accuracy, and also teach the students that don't always, you also have to like read what it's saying, and make sure that it's right, and in that regard. And also just some of the things, like when we're dealing with that, is especially is how to use this. So some of the best practices, and some of the things that I've used, just specifically, that is when I get it, is just making sure that I check it for the accuracy. And I know there's other best practices, but this is what I've seen helps me. And let's see, one more, I think. And so when you see Reina is, like I said here, it's like their instructional coach. So if you ever have any questions, or anything that you need, that's like their bot to help you in learning MagicSchool. So it's also helped me, and when I've gotten stuck, it's a good resource. I know there's other chat GPTs and all that, but they have it right there built in, and that's to help the teachers along as well, and it's there available for you. So let's see, I think, yeah. So I think if you want to get on, and then I can share once they want to create an account, I can share the class code that I've created specifically for this session. I'll get that right now.
I forgot I muted myself. So we can go ahead and join now.
Right, sign up for an account, and then I will give you. Would that be you? I think I'm trying to think if it would be as a.
Should I sign up since I'm going to participate as a
yes.
student?
Yes. Sign up as a student. Yes. Sign up as a student, and then I will share with you I will get the code right now for the room.
Do we have to put in an email address? It says don't have any, click here.
I think normally the way that your students would sign up would be to use their school email.
Oh, okay.
That's either Microsoft. Most schools either Microsoft or Google, and then that way it's just verified. It's a lot easier, the signing up process. Let me share.
So everybody make sure that you have that second device and that you're signing up as well. So you're going to get to experience real time how to do it with your students and what they would see.
So in the, let's see.
I'm doing it on my phone, so it's like harder to type. All right, so it says we couldn't find my account. So, oops, I did something wrong, I guess. Let us know in the comments as soon as you have signed up. Teachers sign up free. All right. So, oh, it says I clicked on teacher sign up free. So that I think that's where I went wrong.
And then let's see, here is
Click, don't have an account, click here. I see what I did. So it says, it's asking me to put my name and then the room code.
yeah, I'll put it up right now, the share information. I shared a link, but here is.
All right, so we're gonna put the link in the comments as well. So you can scan the QR code, or you can sign up using this link that we're putting in the comments.
And then I will I have the code up here. I can post it up here. Let me just get it right now.
Join the room here. All right. All right, so I just put the link that if you click that link, it will take you to the join room. All right, I scanned it and I'm putting, and what's the code for the room? I'm actually doing the code. Oh, there it is. Okay.
There we go.
All right, there's the code. So,
once they join, they should see the tools that are there, and I have the tools that I have right now are a sentence starter, and then there is a chatbot that has. I did an activity with my students during Hispanic Heritage Month, where I gave each student a person to learn about. So instead of just going to Google and Wikipedia, I created a chatbot, a character chatbot that specifically the students would enter the person that they had, and they were interviewing that person, and there were specific questions that they had to ask, but they were getting the responses like they were actually interviewing Frida Kahlo, Diego Rivera, Cesar Chavez. So it was more interactive in that regard, and I felt the students, they were more engaged, and they learned more. In fact, just copying and pasting off of Google Google or Wikipedia and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that I've seen is students are getting frustrated because they're used to just copying and pasting. A lot of them want to just copy and paste. And this is forcing them to you could actually say, no, do not accept any yes, no responses from the student. They must answer in complete sentences. So then they'll get prompted to answer in complete sentences. So not only are they working on the target language, but they're also working on their main language in a way too, if they're answering it in English. So it's helping their writing skills. And it obviously you can put no inappropriate responses, because kids will start to try to stretch it, but that's where you put those guardrails in. And so that was that chatbot. And then so
right now they're seeing in the code, how many people do you see sign up? And it should look something like this. You're going to have to do an acknowledgement, and then you're going to see the options. So it'll say Tech for World Language Teachers Training Tools. So how many people do we have in the room so far?
So far we have in the room, there are, telling me right here, I have 1, 20.
20? Okay, cool. Because we have 31 on the live currently. So
yeah, so these are the ones that I have. If you can see, these are the ones that I have right now in the room.
And you guys, I put the link in the comments. I'm going to put the link. Join the room here. Join the room here.
They should be able to once they're in, click on the you can click on the tools.
So I'm going to pick I'm going to go to Professor.
And then you should it's going to prompt you to generate. Let me I'll get on there. Sorry. That would help. If you go here, so I'm going to go to the tool here. I'll go to the Professor. And if I were to go here and I open up, this is what also the students would see.
Mm-hmm.
The student will hit generate. And then once they hit generate, they're going to get a welcome. They'll start the interaction. So they'll get a message from the bot, and it asks them what they want to do. so they can choose what they want to do. And this is how I set it up. To at the end, they do have to take a little quiz, so you do get that assessment. You can get that quick, um, was it informal assessment to see how they're doing.
Mhm.
And so this is what I would do. So if I was a student, I could type in. You could just type in number one, and then it starts you learning about said conjugation. So it gives me this information. So again, it's not just giving them the answer. Then it's prompting them, would you like to practice some examples? Learn why said is considered irregular. So they're diving more deeper into learning about the verb.
And it's great for differentiation, and without you having to be there. So it's kind of it allows for more independent learning and for differentiation. Student voice because they're getting to choose with, 'cause some people, you might have a student who's really struggling with conjugation, and you might have one who's perfectly doing conjugation. So why, you know, review with the whole class conjugation if some are doing great and some are struggling? Only the students who are struggling should, do the conjugation practice. So that's what's so great about this. It really opens up so much opportunity for you to serve your students in your classroom.
Yeah, and the other good thing that you can do is you can let it know. You can have the chatbot ask the student, "Are you a beginner, intermediate, not?" It would ask it. So then, depending on what the student says, it's going to then give it answers in that level. So if they're a beginner, it's going to say like "Yo soy Gerardo," and then so it's gonna be helping them in that. And then as it learns, also as the student uses it more, it starts to learn with the student, and then it notices that it is starting to progress. So it'll start to ask it maybe a little bit more, because you can put that in there as you see the student is understanding it. Ask it little harder questions, or however you wanna phrase it. So it does do that, and then you can, like I said, you can have a test at the end, a quiz, a little informal, and then you get those results as well. So then you can see how your students are doing, which ones are getting it, which ones are not, and then focus. And then you could even make another bot for those students that are struggling, and specifically on what they're struggling, and give the access to those students as well.
Hmm. I love that.
And
So
for
guys,
me,
we still have, sorry about that. We still have the code open for you guys to join. Let us know, those of you that have joined, what did you choose? Which, somehow I lost my, my thing. Let us know what you chose. Which adventure or bot did you choose?
some so I see some people asking about French too, or only Spanish. Like I said, I teach Spanish, but all you have to do is just adapt it and say, I'm a French class. And then you can, as you can see, well, you can then, you would, as a French teacher, say, I want a lesson on this and whatever it is in French. And it does it in French for
And
sure.
Christy, we're gonna do a follow-up training to show you how to set that up. So
Yeah.
that whether you're a French teacher, German, Spanish, Italian, whatever language you teach, we're gonna show you exactly how to do this. And you can customize it to anything, to any lesson, anything that you want. So yeah, so it says, so students is not logging in with their school email, Google. So it should be okay for COPA compliance. So what do you,
Like I said, that is what they said. Being that it's K through 12, then it is compliant. They are compliant with COPA and the other. So it is compliant, but that's why I do have them always. If they do have their school email, have them log in with their school email. So that is always the best way, but it is compliant.
awesome. And then is there an easy way to type accent marks on there?
Well, for that you could again, you could, as part of the resources, or as part of the bot, you could have a section where if it asks them, like, if they need an accent mark, depending on if their device has it. I know some, like I said, if they have an iPad, they could get the accent, but my students have Chromebook, and it's very hard sometimes to get those accents. So I have set it up to where I give them the accent, I give it to them, and they just have to like copy and paste if they can't have it on their device. There is ways of doing it, but Again, depending on their device, but most devices have where you can switch the keyboard.
Awesome. I want to know, you guys, which custom chatbot did you pick? Did you do the custom chatbot, the image generator, la máquina de frases, or profecer, or voces de historia? So, and again, this example is in Spanish because Gerardo is a Spanish teacher, but again, you can do this in any language.
No, absolutely. And the other good thing, well, for me as well, that's helped me is I only see my students twice a week. So for me, it's given me the opportunity for them to interact outside of the classroom with Spanish. So it's another way for them to continue using. See that? Yeah, you get caught up chatting with these, and I did it too. I was chatting with these like famous people, and you really feel like you are chatting with these people, and they
I
bring
love it.
and they
I
come to
love
life.
it. That's what's so great about this, you guys. If you're looking for engagement but you want it to be meaningful and about the relevant to the material, this is a great way to do that. I love it.
And also the students will start to learn because they they'll ask it and they'll put the question in the prompt and they don't get the response that they need, and I tell them you have to rephrase it, so it's like you're actually talking to the person and you're not getting the response you want. How else would you ask the question? And then once they rephrase the question, then they get the response back. So it's making them have to think, and how do I ask this question, and so it's good for them too to struggle a little bit in getting the answer. That's that's what it is also, is learning that you will get the answer. It might just take a little bit.
So yeah, we got La Máquina de Frases. Can you show us that one, so that people can see maybe a few examples?
Yes. So let me go here. And again, this is obviously would be what you would see as the teacher, and how you would set up the rooms. But I will go to the frases here. Once I hit generate.
Is anyone using MagicSchool with their students? Have you tried MagicSchool before? If so, let us know what features are you using, and have you tried these features, the chatbots?
So here is the sentence starter. So I will say just a. So like, and then this is where. So here is asking me again: am I a beginner? Am I? Do I have some experience? Am I intermediate? So it's asking me what I am. So I'm going to say I'm a beginner. And then you will start your interaction with it. But now it knows that I'm a beginner. So again, this is how what the student would be going through, and it's asking me if I want to introduce myself, describe it. So all those when you teach basics. So like I said, I'm sure if a French teacher, it would be introducing yourself in French, German, Mandarin. We have a Mandarin teacher at my school, and she's used it with her, some of her students as well. So you can definitely adapt this to any language, and learning how to introduce yourself in any language or talking about you. So there's a lot of what it is for Spanish 1, the very beginning of Spanish 1, learning how to introduce yourself in the basics. So you would just start, and you could be interacting with it, and at the end it will put it together in a nice little, almost, you could say, can we put it all together in a little paragraph form, and it'll put it together in a little paragraph form for the student as well. So if they have to record themselves or say it in front of the class, they can have a little script.
Awesome. So the students can record themselves as well and talk to the chatbot that way?
Yes. If as you see here, for those students that are better with, they could actually, I could click here and go, let's see, I want to learn how to describe myself. Let's see if it works. but I have seen. I want to learn how to describe myself. So, there, and then it could, but yes, there is. They haven't had the. I think that is the next thing where they're going to have more voice interaction. But for those students that it's easier for them to verbalize instead of typing it out, they could definitely use the mic function and they can use it. And I have students that have utilized the microphone function many times to interact with it. So it's good for and I have students also on IEPs and once you could even for those students you can write in their accommodations and the bot will know what kind of accommodations your student has. So it's great in that regard, and it becomes even more personalized for that student, and you could do that for all your students.
So would you then create a bot for with those accommodations, and anybody with those accommodations would use that bot? Would you then, or would
Yes.
you create a bot for
you can
for that?
You can do it. Like for example, for me, I teach over 450 students, so I probably would do one bot.
Yeah.
But if I had a class, a normal, like if I was just a classroom teacher and I
Yeah.
had 30 and I knew these 5 or 6, I
Yeah.
would do it. So it all depends again on your class size and how many students. But yes, I would do it. I would just have one for whatever the accommodation is, and then give them access to that. But if I were to go here, and then the next one I'll show you more. But these are the tools that you will have as a teacher. And as you see, this for example, you said they have an IEP generator, but they do have accommodations.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to do a customized chatbot for students with disabilities, you could do it. You could do however you wanted to. You can also you could do a custom chatbot based on the accommodation. You can also they have like song generators. I mean, they have if your students are doing skits, you can give them a skit generator based on the activity that you're doing. So there's a lot there, and it just depends which tools you feel are right for your classroom.
And the song generator, I think, is so fun. My husband and I have created songs in Spanish using the song, and they've actually turned out really well.
Oh yeah, there are. So it's and like I said, this wasn't MagicSchool. It's not really wasn't geared for world language. I've taken everything and I've adapted it to Spanish. So that's why I keep saying that it doesn't matter what content or what language you teach. You'll be able to use this for your content area, for sure.
And that's what's so great about it. I mean, because that's what we're always looking for, and that's why this community is so important. Because there's so many communities out there that was like, oh, technology for teachers, but this community is specifically for how do we as world language teachers, regardless of whether you're a Spanish teacher, French, German, how do we take these tools and adapt them for our students in meaningful, engaging ways where they can practice target language, where we can provide comprehensible input, where we can get them to produce language, and all that, the culture, all these things. That's what's so great about us coming together and doing these. And also, don't forget, you guys, make sure you're in the Tech for World Language Teachers Facebook group, which is a free group that you can join and ask questions and get ideas. That's what's so great about this community, because we can help each other and adapt these things for our classes. All right, so can the teacher see after the session what the student did, in particular, if they write something inappropriate?
And the answer is yes, for sure. And up on the board here, you see it. But I will also tell you that I learned that the very, very first time I did the chatbot, the character chatbot. And sometimes it'll flag for, they're asking a obviously some of that has passed away. The student said, "Are you dead?" And it flagged it for that because they saw the word dead. So sometimes it'll flag it for something minor, which you can see, but then sometimes you will get the inappropriate responses or questions. So, and yes, you will get that. And as you can see here, this is the room that we have for this session. So right now, this is telling me the last message that the student typed, and then the last tool that the student used. So this is what you will see. And then up here, you see where it says moderate. You and that tells me now that there is a it's tagged it for an inappropriate comment. And
Oh, okay.
when you click on it, it'll tell you which one it is. And again, so if you don't mind, I don't know if this is yours, but if you click on it, it'll tell you where it is right here, report. And again, it could just be something minor, but and you have the whole entire conversation here. So if you ever need to print it out and show admin or parents, you have it right there. Like I had it, like I said, with fifth graders, and I was able to show them. I took a screenshot of the conversation and shared it with the classroom teacher, and they were able to do that.
I did it on purpose to check. Sure, you did.
So yeah, if you so these are so right here, yes, they oh there it is. See there, yes. So it is it tells you what they wrote and the inappropriate. And you can and it also the other good thing is you notice right here it tells you as a teacher that they were moderately engaged with máquinas de frases, but they were highly engaged with the profe said. So you're seeing which tools the students are using as well.
And I love that because then you can go back and redo your lesson. Sometimes, you're like, when you do a lesson, you're like, oh, did that work? Didn't work? You can see in real time data that shows you, yes, this lesson was more engaging than this one. And then you can come back and when you're planning in the future, reuse the things that are working. And you can also tell, because, I don't know if you have different classes, you might have a first period, a third period, and what may have worked with first period really well, maybe didn't work so well with third period. Maybe third period they prefer the máquina de frases versus first period prefer the profesor. So you can also tailor your teaching more specifically depending on which, your students and how they're responding in different classes. Because I know for me, that's been a fact. That's been the way it is. That what works with one class doesn't necessarily translate to another.
Yes, no, for sure. But yeah, it's all there. And also, sometimes I've seen it when students have been working on their projects. Sometimes they lose their work on Google Slides, but they were engaged with the body. You're able to go back and at least regroup some of that conversation for them, and you need to print it out to them, you can. And so it's another way for them to kind of back up their work. But it's like I said, it's been a good tool, and you'll see the level of engagement and you're still going to have those students that are going to try to use just Google Translate, but I'm trying to more and more just get them to learn how to use these skills, because there's also no excuse now. I always tell them there's no excuse now to say I don't know the answer, because it is right there. You just got to find it, and it's compared to when I was a kid, it's amazing what resources are available now. So.
Mm-hmm. Now you said there was a quiz at the end of one of the things. Can you show us that?
That was, let me see. That would be.
He's going to show us how to set all this up in our next training, which tentatively is scheduled for June 1st.
So that would be this one here. The profe said. So let me see. It might allow me to, if I type in there, can I take the quiz? So I'm gonna type in 4. So this would be an example. So like fill in the blank. So the student would have to write in the right answer. So let's see. So if they get it wrong, I'm gonna put soy again, and then they get a little bit. But you notice it gives them a little bit more than just the right answer. So there's a little bit more of an explanation. So they're getting more than just no, you got the answer wrong. It's kind of explaining to them. Hopefully they get it right. So then they would take the quiz, and you can say I want it to be 5 questions, 10 questions, whatever, multiple choice, fill in the blank. I want them to write. You like I said, you need. I know AP or as they get more advanced, they have to do more writing. So there could be a writing prompt as well, and they have to practice their writing prompts in the target language. So you set it up. You set it up however you want. But make it very very easy. Just a quick. You just want to make sure they did the lesson. They were engaged with the bot. It all depends on how you want to set it up.
And can you see their score on your end, and then you take that and put it in a grade book as their score for the quiz?
You can, but what I've done with those students is when they'll get their score at the end. I just have them take a screenshot and upload it to my Google Classroom or wherever I have the assignment. But you can. It'll be where you saw everything saved. You could always go back and look at it. But that's what I've done in the past. It does give them a little score, and they have to take a screenshot of that.
Okay, yeah, I
And
love that.
and you can even say they can't advance to the next thing until they take until they take the quiz or however
Yeah.
you make sure that you get the score.
Okay, I like that. And do you guys see how this is so great, especially as I don't know, some of you may be already done with the school year, some of you may be wrapping up the school year, may have a few more weeks. And right now, I know most of my teacher friends are burned out. The kids are burned out. They've been tested, state testing and all that. The kids don't want to. They're coming to class and they're like, "Oh my God, do we have to do anything, please?" And this is great because you don't have to really sit there and come up with a lesson per se. You can just, create the little chat box and have it do the concepts. And it is the lesson and it's interactive. And you don't have to sit there and create. And you don't even have to sit there and create an assessment. It will do it all automatically. And so that saves you so much time and mental space and energy that you would otherwise. You could be working on other things like, catching up on your grading or whatever it is that you're wanting to do for the end of the school year.
And I think the hard thing, or not, what we're finding right now is a lot of people think like, oh, AI is it's just doing all the work for the teacher. That's not the case. It's obviously you still have to what you want out of it, and you can make it, like I said, you can. It's not. You still have to be able to teach, and you still have to be able to do that. It's just a way for you, like you said, to recoup that time to either help those students that really need it, or just time for yourself to plan or grade or.
Yes,
And
it frees up your classroom so that you can go and have a small group session or work on one-on-one and do that individual tutoring or whatever. Have those one-on-ones with your students. It really is a helper to you and like a classroom assistant. So Teresa says that she's amazed by the amount of choice and level of differentiation and personalization with the activities. That's exactly what I love about it too. Technology is great. It can help us meet the needs of our students, and that's why I started the community. Because years ago, I used to have 50 students per class. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to keep them all engaged? I mean, we know that keeping students engaged is not easy. Try keeping 50 of them at a time and having 5 classes of 50. It's not easy. So I found that technology can help me do that. And also it's like, how am I supposed to grade all this stuff? How am I supposed to differentiate? And technology helped me to do that without me losing my mind. And I was able to be a better teacher to my students. So I'm so grateful for technology. All right, Jimmy says, this is our last week with finals. Everyone's completely checked out. Yep, I mean, it is like the lights are on, but nobody's home. And I'm talking teachers and students alike. Everybody's like ready to be done. So these kinds of tools are very good to help you not, not be so stressed and overwhelmed.
No, and other ones that I've used that have helped is like I had a students did a my eighth grade students did a Top Chef in Spanish where they had to do a little cooking show and show us in Spanish. So it was based. The whole entire bot was to help them find their ingredients and how to translate them into Spanish and write their script out. And so they were able to use that, and then they come up with the script in their level of Spanish, because a lot of times they will go to Google Translate but write it in their level of English, but it doesn't necessarily correlate their level of that language that they're learning. So I go, you're not going to be able to say it, but if you use this tool, it's going to put it into in your level where you're going to be able to hopefully reproduce it on video. And I saw that when they did it on video, I could tell they used the tool, and the way that they were able to express what they were saying it was a lot better than I've seen it in the past. So there was an improvement on that.
Good. Well, I love it. Are you wanting to show us that you were just
Sure.
talking about?
It was let me see.
And guys, don't forget to ask your questions in the comments.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Let me. Now, the one thing you'll see when you set up the rooms, it does say like it has a max student when you're on the free account, but 250 students. But that's you could always just redo a room. But that my classes don't really get up to that, and that's that is the one thing with. But it doesn't really affect you that much. Let me just do a custom chat bot here. So if sorry, I gotta. So it's called the Chef Supremo, and then so this is what the students got here. So it asked them translate the recipe. So I had them find the recipe in English and then just take out just the basic the ingredients, the measurements, and so they would do that, and I'll just create my script. So, and again, it's running them through. It helped them write the introduction, so the students would just interact with it and write and write out their script that way, and it kept it there, and then it put it all together in a little paragraph, or however they wanted, like a little show script, however they wanted. But it was I saw, like I said, it was more engagement, and their final product, you could tell that they not only did they get the information, but they also practiced, and it was just a better product at the end from what I saw.
I love it. So fun. All right. So any final comments? Like we have we're 48 minutes, 49 minutes into. We want to make sure we are honoring everybody's time. So let us know if you have any questions in the comments. By the way, sorry. I don't know if you hear, my dog is one of them's having a nightmare. The one that I said was not going to make a sound. It's the one having a nightmare. Hopefully you guys can hear it. But anyway, Nick. So let me let you guys know that the follow-up workshop is going to be tentatively June 1st. I'm going to ask you guys, just like we asked about this one when you guys preferred it, we are going to also poll you guys and see which day you prefer. And we'll do the follow-up. Now, this is a free workshop. It's available to everyone, so feel free to share it with all your world language teacher friends, or even if they're not a world language teacher. But we are going to do the second workshop, will be part of the academy, the World Language Teacher Tech Academy, which, by the way, is currently at a massive discount. We closed down the enrollment for a while, and now it's open again, and right now it's $67 a year. So it's cheaper than it's ever been. We wanted to make it more affordable. We want more people to have access to it. It is going to be that price for a limited time. So if you decided that if you want to join the next workshop and learn how to create your own custom chatbots, then make sure you sign up for the academy, which I'll put on there. I'll put the link in the chat. So it's $67 a year. You can also sign up for monthly, $10 a month. But the link that I'm sending you, it's for $67 a year, and you get access to all of our current and future courses. You get, access to all of our no prep resources, and you also get access to the courses like the must-have AI tech tools, etc. You get a professional teachings, the professional certificates, PD certificates that you can show to your school and your district for credit. And you get to support the community so that we can continue bringing you tools like this so we can continue showing up and serving the audience. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about that. All right, so let us know, what day are you thinking? Would you prefer a Thursday or a Sunday for a training too? Those of you who are Academy members or planning to join the Academy, let us know. Do you want our next training to be on a Sunday, like a weekend, or do you want it to be like a weekday, like a Thursday? But as I said, Sunday. So we have a Sunday right here. Let us know, because some people are like, no, I want to enjoy my weekend. And some people are like, I only have time on the weekends to do these. Also, let us know in the comments, are you officially on summer break, or how many weeks away are you from summer break? Let us know in the comments. All right, and Gerardo, do you have any final thoughts or anything else to share before we say goodbye?
No, I was excited. Thank you again for letting me share this, and it's a wonderful tool, and I know they're in speaking with them a little bit, they're going to have more. They're having more, more tools. And the other good thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning about MagicSchool is that it was actually created by an ex-teacher. So I think that is also big in the fact that it's created by teachers, and a lot of the people that they've hired, I know have been ex-teachers, so they've come out of the classroom. So a lot of times these companies, they build it without the teacher perspective, but I think this one has the teacher in mind, so that's always good.
And you can tell because they really thought of everything. They're like the IP, the this. I mean, it's really awesome. I've been using MagicSchool for a couple of years, and there's so many awesome features of it. It's like, and they're constantly improving it. So it's really great, especially for communicating with parents as well. Yeah. Oh, I have graduation ceremony. Oh, congratulations. Yeah. Oh, our pleasure. And thank you, Gerardo, for coming and showing us this. And we're going to have session 2 coming up. It looks like a couple people are saying Sundays are great. So we will, then we'll plan for Sunday, June 1st. Unless that changes once we poll everybody else, we'll plan on June 1st. We were going to do it next week, but it's Memorial Day. And so, Memorial Day weekend, I think everybody wants to go and enjoy their weekend, so with their families. So we're not going to do it then. But all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking time to join us. I hope you got value out of that. And if you know any world language teacher friends or any teacher friends that could benefit from this awesome training, make sure you share the YouTube channel with them. That's where the training is. That's where the replay will be. It will stay on there. Here's how to join the All Access Club. Putting that in there for you guys. And it's only $67 a year. Again, that's the lowest price we've ever had for a yearly membership. So if you're, wanting to join us and have access to inside the academy, you can get access to the professional development certificate that you can show to your district for this training. Okay. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Have an awesome Sunday. Adios.
Adios. Thank you.